Alrighty, boys and girls, we got something very important playing out in the market right now, especially if you look at this chart here on Bitcoin, and most importantly ahead of the Liberation Day, as Trump calls it now. He's about to liberate us. Liberation Day, tariffs. This is about the tariffs. This is going to happen on the April 2nd, tomorrow. But most importantly, what the market is doing. So I like to pay attention to the market and what the market is doing. Well, you guessed it, you've probably seen it. The market is pumping, but most importantly, we've got something going on Bitcoin. So the longer Bitcoin ranges here, the more looking more and more bullish here. Now, you know me, I've been bullish this far on Bitcoin and cryptos, and I do believe, and I'm still very bullish, that we're going to see a very major rally on cryptos, Bitcoin, altcoins, meme coins. We're going to see that happen, but most of the market does not believe that. So that's where we are at today, and that's why this trend line I have drawn here is very important. Now we can really compare this trend line to this one here, previously when we broke out from Trump winning, and now we're doing something different. Now what we're doing is the market is telling us I want to go down, and then it goes up. Now again it's telling us again I want to go down, and then it goes up, and now it's telling us I want to go down, but then it goes up. But most importantly, it is going up right now while we have this major news coming up tomorrow. So it's pumping ahead of the news, which is a bearish news. Now we could call this like buy the rumor, sell the news, but this is a bearish news. So the market usually, when there is a bearish news, it sells off before the news, and then once the news comes out, then the market pumps. But now we're doing the reverse. So you can call it maybe from like somebody knows something, or some rumors or whatever, that this is gonna be bullish. But in my opinion, what I'm thinking is, because of the uncertainty that this tariff has been causing this far, the market now is tired, and the market just want clear tariffs. The market just want to know what's gonna happen so we can move on, so the economy can finally know what to expect, work on the new tariffs. So most of the downtrend or most of the sell-offs were caused by actually the uncertainty around the tariffs, not the tariffs themselves. Now, that's my opinion on this, but let's look at the market and the chart and what the charts are saying. What we're looking at here, guys, is a bullish market structure change. Now, if you can see this downtrend here, like lower highs, lower lows, not looking good. But what happened recently is very important. And usually these patterns, they do break to the upside. So that's why it's very important to pay attention to today's video, guys. Now you see this. Now we came down, we took this low, we took it down here. So this is March or mid-March. This was also very bearish here. More tariffs, more news and all that. Oh my God, we're going down. And Bitcoin looked like it's going down. That was like a bad time here. So this is $76,000 for Bitcoin. You see that bullish reaction where you see the market came down to take this low and then reversed. It's a perfect bear trap we're looking at here. But what I want to show you is the actual market structure change, and why I am very bullish now is the market structure change, because since now we went, we were doing this lower high, lower low kind of structure, basically since the all-time high. But now we are looking at maybe the verge of changing this, because we made another low here, but a higher low, which means possibility of breaking out from this downtrend is very high. As you can see now, we're trying to tap into it, and this is not the first time that Bitcoin has done that. It's actually this pattern here plays out since I remember, basically since I've been looking at these charts. It's almost always plays out on Bitcoin. Bitcoin loves to do these downtrends, breakout kind of plays, where you see it's downtrending and then it breaks out. It does that a lot. When it downtrends and then it breaks out. We have multiple actually just recently since 2022 where you see this breakouts, and then we have one again here where you see this breakout. And as you know, guys, this is very important, because what this tells us is when Bitcoin pumps, everything else pumps. And I'm gonna come to ETH and as well altcoins, because ETH as well is doing something fascinating today as well. But you can see these downtrends, they usually do break to the upside on Bitcoin. Bitcoin. And also on bad news, like here we had also bad news. This is August 2023, just rejected from this 35k level, which is like a psychological level plus bear market support or bull market support here. And we did break above that. And then we had this one, which is the closest to us. This is March 2024, and since then we were downtrending. This was pretty much hell on earth this time here, guys, and you all remember probably now. You see this time here, this was 200 days of pretty much downtrend, but then we broke out. Are we doing the same thing? Now we're looking at it, like it looks like it wants to break out. Now I do think we're probably gonna see this breakout, but let's add some indicators just so we see what's going on here. And we can see with the RSI. So this is the RSI on the daily. This is also one of my favorite indicators, even though sometimes I make fun of people that use it, but it's pretty much one of the most accurate. But the thing is, you can see that also this is called bullish divergence when you have this uptrend here. So let's put that in white, and then you have this uptrend on the RSI, signaling strength, signaling that the downtrend is getting weaker, so less people are selling, or the people that wanted to sell already sold, and signaling that the market might start to go up. This is pretty much what a divergence means. So because it's a divergence, so this happened while the price was going down. So it's until recently that the price actually started trending higher, and this is actually very important. This is very helpful as an indicator, because you see whenever we reach on the daily, remember daily chart on Bitcoin, whenever we go this low here, whenever we do go this low, we usually bounce back on the daily. So it's almost always plays out, like you can see here. Even on bear markets, whenever we go that low, we see reversals. Even on bear markets, like this is the bear market, deep down bear markets. You see this part here, deep down bear markets. And actually that's one of the tools I use to spot the bottom in 2022. And you can see even in the bear market, whenever it reaches this oversold on the daily, it reverses back up. And mostly as well on the weekly, if you are really playing high time frames. This is how I spotted it on the bear market on 2022. You can see this divergence again, price going down, but the RSI is going up. So this is important to keep in mind. So RSI usually precedes, or is a very good tool actually for bottoms, not as well for tops, but for bottoms is very good. So what we got here again is the same thing going on with the RSI bullish divergence, and we got the same thing as well playing out here. Just now I'm seeing it, but you can see this is also the same thing that we seen here. So this was price not doing well, then we see RSI telling us price is gonna start to move, and then we started seeing prices moving. Now keep in mind as well, because tomorrow we have the Liberation Day. Hopefully we get liberated from Trump's problem making, from Trump's troubles on the market, and the market can finally move on from Trump. But what we're seeing now, like what I wanted to say is, obviously tomorrow we might see some volatility because of Trump. Tariffs Day, he might say something, then the next sentence a different thing, then the next sentence a different thing. And this what usually does is it causes like some sort of short-term volatility that happens within an hour or less, and it does like something like that quick. And then the market continues on its merry way, wherever the direction the market was on before that. So far the direction that the market is taking is to the upside here. It looks like we're getting a breakout. So keep that in mind. And the most important is because it is related to all them juicy gain makers, meme coins and altcoins. Now, to be honest, I was waiting for a while for it to do any sort of double bottoms. Double bottoms are very good as well to look at, to spot those entry positions or entry prices. I did the actual same thing with Pepe back in the days. I remember that. If you look at Pepe here, you will see that this was a double bottom on Pepe that actually marked the low. Usually double bottoms are very good at marking the low, and this was pretty much the Pico bottom on Pepe here. If you just seen this double bottom. Now, double bottoms do help a lot. And this is the first double bottom we're seeing on it. Maybe we can count this one as well as a double bottom. But basically, let me clean this chart. So this was as well a double bottom here. You can call it not as clean as the one we're seeing now, as I'm going to show you, but this, we can say this was a double bottom, but this is pretty clean for a double bottom. We can say that this was the first bottom, and this is usually something that marks bottoms. Very good at marking the bottom. Very bullish now here for Ethereum. Now we need Ethereum to still break up and go back up. So that's important. We need ETH to break above this level, which is 2,800, and once that happens, guys, that's it. That's actually the signal. Altcoin season, we're going up. Now, when it comes to Ethereum as well, 1,800, 1,700, I don't think we're going much lower than that. This is pretty much it. This is the worst conditions and sentiment I have ever seen Ethereum at. The whole world is hating on it, and regardless, it is still the top or the second cryptocurrency asset in the world, which hosts all these cryptos. By the way, as well, last time I was on a Twitter space and people were asking how does Ethereum affects Breton ETH, and for example, just if Ethereum just goes back up to that 2,800 alone, just as a recovery, it's a 50% pump. This translates as a more than a 5x alone on Breton ETH. So we remember this part here, this pump here was a 4x. Now just by ETH doing that little pump, this could also be another 4x, which almost gonna take Breton ETH back to its all-time high. Now as well, it goes without saying, once we see true strength from Ethereum and Ethereum actually starts to move back up and go through price discovery, which I do think we're gonna see this year and pretty soon as well, as soon as the tariff problem is solved, this would send coins like Breton ETH into the billions of dollars in their market cap, and as well other top cryptos and other meme coins or altcoins that are on Ethereum. Now this part, this video, just talking about what's to expect here, and especially this bullish chart here on Bitcoin that looks like it wants to break out. This is so far looking so good here, and most importantly, it is helpful. It is pushing ETH with it. That's what we want to see. That we want ETH to actually start rallying with it and going for them parabolic moves. And just to give you an example as well, when it comes to ETH and when ETH rallies, this is actually in 2021. This is Shiba Inu down below here, and when Ethereum actually pumps, this is like a 180, like maybe a 3x almost, or 2x and a half on Ethereum here. So it went from 1,700 to 4,800. Funny enough, it's the same bottom now. But what you see is Ethereum did 190% or close to 3x. What actually Shiba Inu did a 10x or 11x, and Shiba Inu went from $5 billion market cap to 50 billion. So that's a $5 billion market cap coin. That's how much Ethereum pumping can impact meme coins and altcoins that are built on it. So keep that in mind. When we see Ethereum actually going finally for its rally up, this will change everything. This will change the game, and that's what a lot of people are forgetting this far when it comes to the crypto space. But I'm seeing a lot of people now being bullish on Ethereum and mostly defending Ethereum and explaining to people why we need Ethereum. Because it appears that all these degens on Solana and the degeneracy forgot what the actual crypto space is about and what actually drives this market. And they completely forgot about that. But basically, Ethereum is your indicator or altcoin season indicator as well, because it's the second largest cryptocurrency and also one of the most used by or one of those institutional blockchains as well. Because of that, it shows us the adoption level as a whole for the crypto space in general. So once it starts to move as well, it starts to drive liquidity into its ecosystem, driving as well other coins in its ecosystem way higher, like I've shown you now with Shiba Inu. But this is going to be much bigger for coins like tiny market cap coins like Breton ETH as well. And with this clear double bottom, it's so crazy. Actually, it actually reminds me, it's almost like the Pepe chart. It's almost like it. So you see this huge sell-off downtrend here on Pepe, and this was actually, for the people that were not here, this is like your team selling peak bearish sentiment and a double bottom and then breakout. How crazy that is, actually, that it's playing out now on Ethereum. So you got your downtrend, like that, then your double bottom, and then the breakout. It's very similar like that. Double bottom breakout. You see double bottom breakout. Those are the levels. This far, I do think we're slowly gonna start to grind higher as we progress. And overall, today's video is more to update you on this and what's going on. Especially, I'm seeing this bullish structure on Bitcoin. Now, let's see what's gonna happen tomorrow with the Liberation Day. Hopefully, we get liberated. And thank you so much for watching today's video till the end, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.